D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every week with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can read the articles that I read to bring you this video. And you can read those articles and you can, make up your own mind, or you can just listen to me because I'm going to break them all down for you. But before I get started, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. I mean, YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like myself usually get pushed to the back of the line, and they're about to do their annual bot purge and old account cleanse. And there usually is a little bit of collateral damage there too. So I just please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. So why don't we go ahead and get started on these 3 stories? And I just have to say, for my first story, this is a big one. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Golden Globes were canceled this week for next year's broadcast. Now, it was announced earlier in the week, and NBC said that they will not be airing it for next year, for 2022. Now, and you may not think this is a big deal depending on who you are, but this is a big deal. Now, how did this all get started? So it was revealed earlier this year that the Golden Globes didn't have a single Black member in their 87 membership. So this was a problem. A lot of people, were upset about this, that there were no Black members, because this is a global organization. They have a lot of I think they have 1 Asian member. So people were upset. So, and then also what came out, that they had proof that members were taking bribes, and that was also a problem. And then also it was revealed that a number of members had jobs in the group, but were just collecting they were just collecting a paycheck. Their job was it was a farce. It was nothing special. They were just collecting a paycheck on behalf of the organization. So this was a problem. Now, they apologized during the Golden Globes. If you remember the last Golden Globes, they apologized during the broadcast and everything. And then on May 6th, they put a proposal on how they were going to fix it. And people saw that proposal and they just said, this is not enough. It's not enough. You're not doing enough. So then Netflix, who participated in this in the past with, bribing, I guess, and everything. So they said they weren't going to participate in this anymore. So Netflix said they were no longer going to put any movies forward for consideration during the Golden Globes. And then Amazon jumped on board. So we had Netflix and Amazon. They said they were not going to participate until all of this was fixed. Then Mark Ruffalo came out. He gave a little spatter against the Golden Globes. And then the big one last week was Scarlett Johansson. I was going to cover that story, but I was like, I think, whatever. But so Scarlett Johansson, she came out and she had said a lot of stuff. She said that during campaigning for her movies, the HFPA were sexually harassing her with the questions that they were asking her. She said some of them were borderline, and then some of them were straight up sexual harassment. And me personally, I just go, I wonder what they asked her, straight up, it's so crazy. In a professional setting, when you're asking an actor and actress, I don't understand these people that can't just ask a question like even if it's a softball question that every other person has asked, what was it like training and everything? It's so crazy. They got to get all weird and everything. So, and then she said, after all that happened, she said that she's like, I'm no longer going to participate in anything to do with the Golden Globes or the HFPA. So then earlier this week, NBC canceled the 2022 telecast, the broadcast for the Golden Globes. And they said it's just going to be for 2022. They said they might bring it back in 2023, but obviously things have got to get fixed there. And you know, and I mean, I'm pretty sure this wasn't a big deal because this is it can cost a lot to put on these award shows, and the ratings sucked. They were just in the toilet this year. They were the lowest they've ever been. And so it's like people, you know, people don't want to see sorry, I have something in my eye. People don't want to see these I feel like people don't want to see these award shows anymore. Like I know I tuned in for like a hot second, but I didn't tune in for very much. So then after they canceled it, Tom Cruise sent back all of his Golden Globes back to the organization. He boxed them up. I'm pretty sure he put them in a nice box and everything, or had his assistant do it, and sent back all 3 of his Golden Globes. And that's a big deal. And it made people question, were other actors and actresses going to start sending back their Golden Globes? You know, I have to be honest, if they don't, I understand. That's an award for achievements that you've done. You know, it speaks to your art. Some people will say morally you have to send them back just because of what they've done. I don't know. That's a question for somebody else. I'm not one of these people. Like, I promise I'm not going to get mad if you keep your Golden Globe. I totally get it. But if you send it back, that's your choice too. I mean, you know, you do you, boo boo. And I promise I'm going to suspend judgment because of that and everything. So that is my first story of the week. And I just thought that was crazy, interesting, and so crazy that this whole thing, and then they canceled it. That's the part that really, like, I was like, oh no. And then Tom Cruise, when he sent back his Golden Globes, I was like, man, boss move, Tom. That was great. So that is my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week, looks like Knives Out 2 is casting some pretty great people in the movie and everything. It was announced earlier this week first that Dave Batista would be joining the cast of Knives Out 2. And me personally, I'm not like the hugest fan of Dave Batista. I think he's an okay actor. I mean, a lot of people want to cite his Blade Runner 2024 role, and I'm all like, yeah, he did good, but I mean, he barely did anything in that movie. I mean, like, he had like 2 lines and everything. So then they had cast Edward Norton, and I think that's pretty good. I like Edward Norton, and I think he's a good actor and everything. So Rian Johnson will be directing and writing, as he did the first one. He did that one, and Lionsgate did the first movie. They promoted it. They were like, hey, we got this movie, and a lot of people liked it. Now Netflix is going to be doing the second one, and it looks like they've got the series, but we'll see going forward. So Netflix is getting into the Dave Batista business, it looks like, because not only is he in Army of the Dead, he is also in this franchise, this Knives Out franchise. We'll see if it goes past number 2. I'm pretty sure it will, because whatever. Now, as far as Edward Norton goes, like I said before, I just love Edward Norton. I think he's a good actor. He can kind of be a dick and everything, but I still think he's a good actor. I mean, whether or not they're a nice person, they're still, talent is talent. And so, like I said before, so far the cast is looking really, really good. Dave Batista was originally going to be in the Suicide Squad because James Gunn had written a role just for him, and he turned it down to do Knives Out 2 because, hey, listen, Dave Batista's got to do what Dave Batista's got to do. I guess he said that and everything. So then it was also announced that Janelle Monáe will be joining the cast, and that was announced Wednesday. Now, Janelle Monáe is in movies just like Antebellum. I didn't like that movie very much, but she did like, she was in Harriet, and she did what was that space movie? Hidden Figures. And I think that Janelle Monáe is just so fantastic. She's my pick for Storm. But I know some people say she's not dark enough, but I personally like her a lot. And I think she's a great addition to this movie and everything, along with Daniel Craig and all that. Hey nerds, I just want to jump in here real quick and say that as of recording this video, there was an update, like literally minutes after I recorded this video. It looks like they've cast another cast member, and that is Katherine Hahn. And I have to admit, this is just absolutely amazing. I'm so happy about this casting call. Katherine Hahn is, I love her. She's great. I think that adding her to this movie was like Toni Collette's character in the first one. They're both of those women are such a great grab for your movie slash TV show, whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm really happy about this. Ever since she did WandaVision, people are really starting to notice her. I think so. But I've loved her for the longest time. And I think that I think this is a really good casting call. This movie is shaping up to be, as far as casting goes, fantastic. We'll just have to see how the murder mystery part fans out. Like I said before, I didn't like the first one. So we'll see if Rian Johnson can do a better job, in my opinion. All right, that's the update. So I still think they need an actor or an actress that has a lot of pull as far as can pull a lot of people in as far as fans go. I mean, yeah, Janelle Monáe and Batista and Edward Norton, they have their fans, but let's be honest, they don't have like the kind of fans that you need to pull it in. I think the last movie, I think Chris Evans, I think was the biggest one just because he was Captain America. And yeah, Batista's Drax, but I mean, like, so what? And everything. He even said this week that they didn't utilize Drax's backstory in those movies. So I mean, whatever. So the first one took place in Massachusetts. And I really liked the look of that movie. I thought that house was fantastic. I thought the setting was great and everything for that movie. So I personally like that whole feel and the look of the first movie. So the second movie is going to take place in Greece, and they're going to start filming this summer. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, I'm willing to give Rian Johnson a chance. I personally didn't like the mystery part of his movie. I know he's got this things where he's always like, he's like M. Night Shyamalan in that sense. Like, he's like, you got to subvert expectations. And me, I go, yeah, but your mystery sucked, in my opinion. Like, I don't like how he did it. Like, I'm an old school kind of mystery person. Like, you set up all the clues and then you try to figure it out. This one, I'm like, you didn't set up the clues very well. Like, figuring it out was almost impossible. Like, that's just how it is. So it'll be like, so far the cast, in my opinion, is shaping up to be very, very good, and I'm quite excited about it. As far as the cast goes, we'll see if the story is going to be any good and everything. But yeah, so that is my second story of the week. And for my third and final story of the week, this one's a smaller story, but I really found it very interesting. So Tig Notaro did an interview with Vulture where she spent the time talking about her role in Army of the Dead and the technical part of filming that role. Now, she said that first she talked about how she got the call from Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder, as soon as all the stuff that happened with Crystalia, and there was, they talk about that a little bit in the article about how, he was pursuing underage girls, sexually on social media. And that came out. And as soon as that came out, filming had already been done with Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder, he had said he was almost completely done with the movie as far as editing and visual effects goes. Like, the movie was ready. It was already done film and almost ready to go. So the thing came out with Crystalia, and he had to recast / do it. And so he picked Tig Notaro. And she talked about how at first she was like, why are you picking me for this? And then she thought about how her and Crystalia's, their comedy and the way they do things comedic wise are so different that she didn't know if she could pull it off. But then when she finally took the role, she said she just studied the script because Zack Snyder was like, listen, we've already filmed this. We're going to have, this is all going to be technical. So we need you cannot ad lib. Like, she had to do, the script. So she said she studied the script hardcore. I'm paraphrasing all of this, by the way. So she studied the script hardcore, and then they filmed all of it, just her. She had none of the other actors or actresses to do it. There's a film where she actually gets physical with, not like fighting physical. She touches the shoulder of another character, which I don't remember what the character was in the article that they said, but she touches their shoulder, and Tig Notaro said they had to use an assistant. I can't remember if it was Tig Notaro's assistant or Zack Snyder's assistant, but everything was shot on green screen. They said that there was difficulties with the fact that Crystalia is taller than Tig Notaro. And it was such a great article in the sense that Zack Snyder, whether you like his movies or not, he is in my opinion, I love people like this. He sets up, I'm sorry, I'm using my hands to do this. He sets up his movies to be so gosh, I'm trying to think of the word that I'm trying to use here, but it's just so brilliant the way his mind works. It's point A to point B, but in between here, this is all the stuff that's got to happen, and we cannot delineate from that. And I like that about people that do that kind of stuff, because you make a plan, you do the plan doesn't work, you throw out the plan, but I feel like he does the plan, and that's why he was technically able to do this, because he's that kind of director. And listen, listen. I'm leaving a link for the article. Go read that article. It's such a good article. I found it so fascinating and great. And I love Tig Notaro. I can't wait to see her. I love her comedy. Listen, I like Chris D'Elia's comedy too. And I just want to say that before, Chris, because she said she was worried about Chris D'Elia fans coming after her. And then afterwards, and she even talked to this funny thing about how she thought she was the star of the movie because she was the only one filming and everything. But I love Tig Notaro and Chris D'Elia. Listen, I can't take away from the things he's done in the past, just because he, pursued underage girls. I don't get that whole process, but doesn't mean that what he did in the past, his comedy and everything, is bad. That doesn't mean like his jokes are not funny anymore. It just means he's not a great person. As far as Tig Notaro goes, I love Tig Notaro. She's great. I love her style of comedy. I love the way she tells jokes. I think she's got a great look. I'm excited for Army of the Dead, which came out in theaters Friday of this week, and everything. By the time I'm filming this, it's already come out, and it will be the following Friday after this video comes out. It will be then on Netflix. I don't know if I've seen it or not, if I'm going Friday or not, because I'm filming this on Thursday. But I will definitely see it at some point in time and give you a review for that. So those are my 3 stories, you guys. Tell me, what did you guys think about this? I mean, how do you feel about the Golden Globes being canceled for the 2022 broadcast? Is this something that upsets you, or are you like, a lot of people, where the Golden Globes did a good thing, and people like Tom Cruise did a good thing by sending back his Golden Globes, and good on Scarlett Johansson, because a lot of people gave her crap about the whole tree comment and, standing up for Woody Allen, but she came out and she spoke, out against this. And you got to speak out against, sexual harassment and everything. You can't be treating people like this, no matter who they are. You can't. You just can't. And do you think that they'll change this? And do you think that NBC will bring back the Golden Globes in 2023? Or do you think it's just, I think they will, but do you think they will? Or do you think, how do you just tell me how you feel about this overall? I mean, I personally think this is a good thing. The ratings sucked anyways, and this will be a good way to just rethink the way they do things and fix it. How do you feel about the Knives Out 2 cast and how it's coming along so far? Are you happy they cast Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, and Janelle Monáe? I'm happy about all 3 of those. I mean, like I said, Batista, I don't think he's the best actor, but I like him. I think he's a good person. So I like him. And I wish nothing but good things for people. So I'm happy about all of this. I'm most excited about Janelle Monáe. I think she's so great. And she's so hot. I find her very attractive. All 3 of these people are attractive people. But anyways, and then do you agree with me that they need to get somebody that's got a huge fan base like Chris Evans had with the MCU? And maybe they need to get somebody that's got a huge fan base like that. And then how do you feel about this Tig Notaro story about her being put into Army of the Dead and replacing Chris D'Elia? Did you read this article after seeing this video? What did you think about the technicality of it, and how great Zack Snyder is that he can do this, and how technology has come so far that we can add a completely new person into a movie? I mean, this isn't the first time it's happened, but this is the first time it's happened to where you had to like put a digitally person in when there's a bunch of people around, kind of thing. I mean, I don't know if it's the first one. I said the first one, but I don't know. Anyways, tell me what you think. You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.